If you're tired of the same types of relationships with the same type of dumb people that end in the same dumb heartbreak, and you're getting really, really sick of this repeating pattern, and you recognize it's a repeating pattern, and you're ready to be done, and you want to figure out how to get that pattern to stop, then this video is for you. My name is Adam. I have been married now for, this July will be 9 years. I know the video says 10, it just sounds better. It's 9 years, and I know for a fact that I'm going to live the rest of my life with my wife. I will die married to her. I have a kind of love with her that I would call romantic true love. And there's a lot of opinions on that on the internet, but me and her talk about it quite a bit, and what we have is something very special. And I know that it's not achievable for everybody, but I would love to see more people try to find it. And so when looking back at my life, and I started looking back at the heartbreak and the dumb relationships that I kept going through, and then what I did to change myself internally and externally, that allowed me to be gifted with the opportunity to find my wife and marry her and keep her and take care of her and cultivate this like true love, this like romantic book kind of love and story. I would love to see more people have that kind of love, and it's kind of a process that I think most people can do to better their chances. So a little bit of my story is that I was a like serial falling in love romantic guy, a songwriter, fully into just sad folk music, like really just kind of this pathetic kind of archetype of a young man. And I kept on falling in love with these wrong people, but what I didn't realize was that there was a difference between lust and love, and I kept on affiliating both of them together, associating them to be the same thing. And it was only through heartbreak after heartbreak in the same type of situation, and yeah, it was a blonde girl right there, and then over here was a brunette, but it was the same energy. It was the same kind of woman. And when I finally recognized within myself, oh, I'm repeating this pattern, and I'm doing it to myself, and I keep on attracting the same type of person, I got really fed up with it, and I decided to draw a line and change, and I'll explain how I changed. I'll explain that process towards the end of the video. But I got fed up, and I started defining what true love is. And when I say true love, I don't mean like Disney true love. I mean like love that is true, like not false love, like actual real love. And then I got gifted with that true love once I realigned myself and I stuck with it. So I met my wife 9 years ago now, across the United States. We've been married ever since. I got married at 19. It hasn't been easy. All of my 20s I have been married. Not one day in my 20s was I not married. I would not undo any of it. I love it. I think the best thing for a man and a woman to do is to find the right person and to get married as early as possible and start having kids. It will benefit every single area in your life. You'll learn how to make more money. You'll learn how to be more spiritual, more disciplined, more strong, more connecting, more healthy, as long as you and your wife's focus is on being the strongest version of yourselves and growing together and for better and getting away from the things that make you worse individuals. That relationship is going to flourish and you'll grow more than you would without it. So a little bit of motivation there, coming from someone who got married at 19 and kind of did it the wrong way. I didn't know how to make money yet. I didn't have anything. I had nothing. I was literally homeless. I had a guitar and I had a motorhome and a vision. So I did it completely the wrong way and it worked out. So maybe forget what you've heard from everybody else and listen to a different opinion for a little bit and see if it suits you. So I started the video by saying the same dumb people, the same dumb you, getting the same dumb reward. And I probably ticked a little bit of you off because you're like, oh, he's just calling us dumb because of whatever reason you think I'm calling you dumb. I know why I'm calling you dumb, and this is the reason why. And I'm going to define dumb for you. Not learning to change behavior after a bad outcome. So you keep on getting the same bad outcome and you're not changing your behavior, and then you keep on getting the same bad outcome. So I'm going to define bad now for you. Not desired. I know something bad can happen to you, something not desired, and you can make it benefit you. It can be for your betterment, right? All bad things that happen can actually be the best things that happen in your life. That's very true. And yes, when something bad happens, something not desirable happens, that's the way to look at it. Everything is for your benefit. But if you're constantly doing that, then you're just dumb. Because really the main lesson you can learn when something bad happens is don't let that happen again. You can learn a lot about how to not let that happen again. And if you're not learning those lessons, you're dumb. So if you want to not be dumb and get with the same dumb people, being the same dumb you, getting the same dumb results, heartbreak, being taken advantage of or taking advantage of people, if you the late nights crying, the sick feeling in your stomach and your throat that you could have did something different or better, or you should have said something different, or the feeling that a lot of men have in relationships when they're maybe really infatuated with someone is they feel like they have to play some kind of game to keep them interested or attracted. It's bullshit. When I met my wife, I completely got rid of all game. And now this is back in the day. I was 19. Real Social Dynamics, the pickup culture, on YouTube was really sprouting. It was doing really, really good back in the day. It wasn't as cringe. It was more just like, wow, this is like really good information for young men to have. And I got into that. And that's what I practiced, talking with a lot of women. I started traveling, pretty girly, just talk to her. I grew up with 4 sisters. I knew how to talk to girls. I wasn't necessarily sleeping around with all of them, but enough of them enough to damage, myself to the point where I needed to repent and change and rebuild. And that's probably a topic for another video, how if you're giving yourself away intimately, you are literally, parts of your soul are crumbling away and you're going to be more and more lost. The main part of all of this is you have to stop chasing pleasure. So love can have pleasure, but pleasure is not love, and lust is not love. And just because you feel really, really warm feelings, that does not mean it's love. You can feel that for someone. In fact, I recognize that I felt that with my wife when I first met her. And then I took a step back and I said, well, I'm not going to repeat the same things. So what I did, instead of just falling head over heels like I had in the past, or trying to do game on her, or try to pull her or anything, I literally took a step back and I was like, let's just see what her values are first. I know I'm feeling this. I felt this way before. I don't really care about the feeling right now. I want to see if she's a safe place for me to put these feelings. If she's the right person that's going to be my wife, that I can give myself to in this way that I feel like I want to. As a man, I grounded myself and I saw, for reality, what is her soul? What does she want? Is this a good fit? I'm all for falling in love, and I'm also all for being smart about it and making sure you pick the right person. So stop chasing pleasure. Instead, chase desire. A healthy desire. Healthy desire is steady and it's life-giving. It's not taking. Stop chasing pleasure. Chase security. And all that means is someone who's serious about commitment. And what that looks like is behavior is a language. They can talk about how committed they are, and I think I find that the people that talk about it the most are the least in their actions. I'm so committed. Once I find someone, I'm just really committed to them. And then you see that ends up not being true at all. Now, I'm not saying that's the case every single time, but if someone's saying something a lot like, I'm not lying, trust me, I'm not lying, it's like you're probably lying because you feel like you have to say that you're not. So it's the same principle there. You chase depth and passion. You can get super analytical about it, but you'll know when it's right because you'll feel it deep in your bones. So that depth and that passion, as long as it's targeted towards someone that is safe to put that into, someone who has the same principles and goals and alignment for life as you, directionally. I'm not talking like across the board religiously, like this is like you're a Lutheran, I'm a Lutheran too, or you're Catholic, I'm Catholic too, or you're atheist, I'm atheist too. I'm not talking about that. Those are dogmatic understandings of religions we were born into and given to think about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, it's important to relax when you're having a meal. That's a simple one. It's important to get exercise. It's important to be outside. It's important not to be in front of a screen all the time. Like the little ones and the big ones. The principles of, I think it's important to give when you can to people who need it more than you. Simple principles, the ones that matter most to you. And if you don't even know what those are, you might want to go do a little exercise where you get a notebook and you write it down and figure it out. You don't chase pleasure. You chase strength and respect and honesty. You chase connection, not manipulation. I'm going to speak to the guys here. We are being sold a lot of crap when it comes to women, that you have to sell yourself in a way. You have to change who you are. You have to put on some kind of game. You got to put on the romance. You got to put on the spark. You got to do something other than what you're doing. Now, what I'd say is, as a man across the board, you should have a little bit of flame in you that makes you nice to be around. Exciting, excitable. You should be getting stronger. You should be vital. You should be alive. You shouldn't have to just turn that on to attract a woman. You should be that way by yourself. You should be that way with your relationship with God. You should be that way with your relationship with your work. You should be that way, not all the time, obviously, because you're going to be tired sometimes. But you should be that way. That should be your default state the majority of the time. And if it's not, that's the thing to work on, not so that you can get a woman, but because that's how a man should be. I'm going to die on that hill. A man should have some fire in his soul that makes him charismatic, courageous, willing to jump, willing to take the risk, willing to go to war, willing to fight for something that is meaningful to him. You're not going to achieve shit in life if you don't have that. And you definitely don't deserve a really nice woman if you don't have that inside of you either. Ooh, controversial take. The number one thing that I changed before I met my wife was I was okay with being alone. I finally killed off the version of myself that said, I want to be with someone. I know that there's someone out there. I'm a romantic guy. I like being that guy with a woman. I like being in love. I like how it fuels my songwriting and my life and my passion and all this stuff. And I killed off the identity of the heartbroken me that writes a lot of songs because I'm heartbroken. I killed off the part of me that was addicted to heartbreak. And that's the thing, if you keep on, let's say, sleeping with girls or going on meaningless dates with girls and then they end up ghosting you or whatever, there's a part of you that's addicted to that. There's a part of you that likes that wants that keeps on chasing that. And you need to kill your identity to that bad part of yourself, the non-desirable part of yourself that you keep on doing, because I liked heartbreak and I kept on getting it. You like the bad feeling that you get when you keep on having sex with different women and then you come back feeling like a shell of yourself. You're addicted to that feeling. It's like eating junk food. You're addicted to that gross feeling. Even though it's a bad feeling, you're actually addicted to it. You want it, and so you keep on getting it. You have to recognize what that is, and you have to kill it off. You have to make a resignation, and you have to repent, turn away, and change your behavior. Be okay with being alone. That's the first part of change, is recognizing that this change needs to happen internally with my own character so that anything external can change moving forward. And the last thing really is you have to make a new internal promise between you and God. What I did was I said, Yahweh, next woman I'm with is going to be my wife. I will not have sex with another woman. It will only be my wife. Next person I'm with is going to be my wife. Now, it just so happened that the next woman I felt things for and really, really wanted to be with just so happened to be my wife. And what a beautiful thing. And I think that all it took was me making the change internally. I'm all done doing this. I know what kind of love I want. I know how I want to be when I'm in love and when I'm in a relationship. I want something that's going to last forever. I detailed what it means. What real love, what true love means to me. I defined it. You have to figure out, what kind of love do you want? There's all different kinds. There's abusive love, there's manipulative love, there's loud love, there's quiet love, there's long-lasting love, there's quick love. What kind do you want? Now, as long as you know that what you're doing to yourself, and if that's what you want, as long as it's conscious, all that I am fighting for on this entire channel is self-awareness. Be self-aware of who you are. Because if you're self-aware, you'll be aware that everything you're getting is a result of your actions. It's a result of how you're behaving. And if you don't want to be dumb, and you don't like what you're getting, change your behavior. A lot of people are just okay with being dumb. This channel is not for you. It takes pain to change. I had to go through a lot of pain to make this change in my life. I had to go through a lot of pain to realize what I wanted and who I actually was before I could meet my wife. And then that kept on continuing. It took a lot more pain and a lot more work, even with my wife, to figure out, both of us, how we could make it work together. The pain is never ending, but it's so much more worth it to go through that pain with somebody else, and then at the end of the day, be able to lay with them, and it's the same person that you've been laying with forever, for the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 9 years, 10 years, 20 years. Knowing that that's a constant, that will never change. Me and my wife will always come back together. We will always have a home with each other. There's nothing that could ever separate us. There's no other woman, other man, no rain cloud, no storm, no ocean, no mountain that can separate that kind of love. And it's a dedication, it's a choice. That love is a choice. It's not only a feeling. Yes, it's a feeling too. Feelings fade, and you can't trust feelings, and you can't trust thoughts either. It is a choice. It's a choice, and it's a beautiful choice, and it's a choice I hope everyone gets the opportunity to make, but you have to go through a lot of pain, and you have to feel the pain, and you have to reveal the pain, and then you can find out what you're ready for and what you really want. And you can figure out what you're done with. And you can make a declaration to your mighty one. For me, it's Yahweh. Yahweh, Most High, this is my declaration. Next woman I meet, that's the only woman I'm going to love for the rest of my life. Your will be done. I didn't go, now please bring her to me. No. No, your will be done. He's not a genie. And he already knows what you need. So you really don't have to ask. What you have to do is change your behavior and understand that you're playing a part in it. There's a lot of hope here. I was hopeless for a long time. I thought I was just damned to keep on doing the same thing, and I knew that that was a choice. If I wanted to keep on experiencing heartbreak, and if I wanted to keep on writing these sad songs that I was just getting fed up with, but other people liked them, and they did good, and they made money, and high emotion. But it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I wanted to cultivate and build. long term. And I knew that if I needed to change that, I needed an identity shift. And that's all it is. You're stuck in who you are right now. You have an identity that needs to change. You have a way of behaving and thinking about women, or a way of behaving and thinking about men, with women. That behavior, that identity, the way you think about them, the way you feel about them, that needs to change. And that's going to take a lot more work for some people. Some people, they're going to have to go to therapy for probably a long time. It's going to have to be a good therapist, someone who's actually going to walk you through what progression looks like, not just review. You can't just review your past and learn. You have to progress. What are you carrying forward? What weight are you dropping? And what new weight are you going to pick up and carry with meaning? For some people, it's not going to take therapy. They might be able to just spend some time alone in a cabin in the middle of the woods and figure it out, and then come out of that process completely changed. But whatever that process is for you, it's worth it. It's worth finding that true love. And if you're already with someone and you're like, I want true love, know that you can cultivate that with the person you're already with. If you're already married, you already have kids, and the feelings are gone, don't get trapped in that. You can recultivate those feelings. For men, if you're not feeling that, the first things to do for you is going to be stop doing the things that are getting in the way. You know? Stop looking at other women, stop looking at stuff online if that's what you're doing. Like, there's all kinds of things in this world that can block us from realizing, wow, we have a real life beautiful woman right in front of us that loves us, takes care of us. I want to give the world to her. I want to give myself to her. All my capability to be fully poetic and romantic, I'm going to give that to her. It's a beautiful thing to be, and women love it. Be tender aggressive. Women love it. Cultivate the poet, and be a hard ass when you got to be a hard ass. At work, with your weightlifting, with yourself. That tender, aggressive nature for a man is key. If you want this, you have to have an identity shift. You have to go through the pain. You have to see it. You have to reveal it. You have to feel it. And then you can change. If this video helped you, subscribe, share with a friend. I'll see you next week.